Hey there, what's up? It's Julie from Machine Embroidery Geek, and today we are going to make this super cute little in the hoop pouch. See, it has a little zipper in here. Oh, lots of strings on there, but little zipper. Open it up, put your little gift cards, makeup, whatever you want. And we're going to make this entirely in the hoop. If you've never done anything in the hoop, get ready to be stunned and amazed because this is really fun and quick and awesome. What I have here is a piece of sticky back, very sticky, but nice sound, indicating that this is hooped very tautly, and we're ready to go. So all I did is I hooped the piece of stabilizer. It's tearaway stabilizer with a sticky back surface, and I scored around the edge. So I took a pin and scraped it, and that created a little rip, and then I peeled back the paper, and now I've got this sticky surface right here, and we are ready to go. So what you can see here is I have my embroidery hoop on the machine, and I have that sticky stabilizer exposed, and I'm ready to start stitching. So this first stitching is going to be the placement line for the zipper. Here we go. So here are my two placement lines for where my zipper is going to go. I'm just going to trim this string here, and I'm going to lay down my zipper. Now I want to be strategic about how I place this zipper, because at this end point and at this end point I'm going to have some stitching, and I don't want to stitch over the metal parts of the zipper. So I'm going to place this, the end piece, and probably it would be easier if I worked with a longer zipper, because then I could ensure that this whole length would be just this type of area of the zipper. But I don't have a longer zipper, so I'm going to do this. And actually I want to get my zipper so that it covers the lines, because that's the same line where it's going to be stitched down. So that looks pretty good to me. And this little guy is out of the way, and this piece is not going to get stitched over. Okay? So now we're ready for the next round of stitching. You can see here that my zipper is now sewn to the stabilizer. And that stitch line also serves as a placement line for the pieces of fabric we've prepared. So if you cut out the two pieces of fabric that are explained in my directions for the file, if you purchase the file, these are 2 inches-ish, maybe 2.5 inches, and I folded over and pressed one side 1/2 of an inch. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm covering both of these sides here. Okay, and then I'm going to, let's cut this, get this out of the way. Place the other one down, and when this travels, we may run into little bits of problems here and there. So our best bet would probably be to just tape this down. So I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape to tape it down and try to prevent the machine from getting stuck under these folds here. Okay, I feel pretty good about how this is taped together, and now I'm going to start my next round of stitching to secure the fabric to the zipper. I'm going to take a little break here and escape out of this design. We'll come back to it. We're on 4 of 7 rounds of stitching, because what I want to do is I want to personalize this for my kid. So I'm going to escape out of here, then I'm going to go into my machine's lettering system and stitch out a name. Okay, so let's do that and make it totally her own. back into the design. But before we do that, we have to do one crucial step. Now, if you remember, we have the zipper head outside of our bag, and so we're going to need to move this up into this area. And we don't have to worry about stitching over it because all of the rest of the stitching is going to be around the exterior and over here for the little ribbon that we attach. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I am now back into this design, back on 4 of 7, and you can see here that I've moved the zipper head into the center of the pouch. I'm going to make sure my speed is pretty slow, and now we're going to stitch the placement line for the back piece of the pouch. I have the placement stitching all done now. You can see this outline here. That's where I'm going to put this top piece in just a minute. But first we're going to do a little tiny stitching over here for the ribbon that is going to attach to it. So let's go ahead and get that started. Well, that last stitching was kind of subtle, but I can see it's right there. And that stitching is to show me exactly where I want to put my little ribbon loop. So this is a piece of 5/8 inch ribbon, and it's about 4 to 5 inches long. And I'm going to I want it to go right there because I'm going to stitch over it. So I can actually just put this in place, and I probably should be taping this down so it doesn't go anywhere. And now we're going to start stitching, and it'll just stitch it right into place. Okay, and now we are really just about done. I'm going to take down this ribbon, and then I'm going to place my back piece on top of my front piece and finish it all up. I have just laid down this back piece of fabric, and it's covering that placement stitching. So I might tape it in a couple of places, but then we're going to just start stitching the final round of stitching. Guess what? We are all done. All we have to do is pop it out of the hoop and clean it up. We're going to trim around these edges here and then turn it in right side out. You can see here that I have kind of picked away some of that sticky back stabilizer so that I can get access to the zipper. So I'm opening it up a little bit, and then I'll be able to flip it inside out. And you can also see how I trimmed all the edges. Here are my 2 finished pouches. I'm really happy how they turned out. So don't forget to like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye.